All right, what's going on, everybody? So we're working on the Legacy again today. It's a beautiful day out here. It's like 90 degrees, so I got my buddy working on his head gasket job on his Subaru. But today I'm working on getting this transmission prepped. I just got some new axle seals, so we're working on getting these popped in. These are directional, so if you order these, you got to make sure you get the right ones for each side. But I got the diff all ready to go. So last time we got the flange put on, I cleaned it. I finally got my new axle seals, so I put those in. So these are actually not directional and they don't really matter. They're also the same as the WRX. So we're gonna try to get this in today, as well as hopefully the trans. Studs in. Figure out and get these angled right. Alright, a little finagling. I got it in there. So I had to get these tight, tighten up those guys. I think I'm still missing the little 14s that go in the side there, but I ended up using the plate, the mounting plate from the Legacy. So that's the R160 Legacy plate on the R180 diff. Legacy mount with the bushings and all that. So all we really had to change in the diff was the flange, and it bolts right in there. So yeah, just gotta find some of these 14 mil bolts for these side ones. And we could put, once the transmission's in, we'll do the drive shaft and then the cover that goes over that. But that's it. It's all mounted up. So now that the diff's in, I'm gonna go ahead and put my new sway bar in. This is actually a WRX, like Impreza GC8 kind of sway bar. So this is the old one here. You can see it's quite a big difference. I forget the exact diameter, but I think these are the part numbers. Came with bushings, so I don't have end links yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this put up in there, just slowly start getting the suspension put together. Okay, just getting the end caps on here. They came with new poly bushings, so put a little bit of Silglide on there. I'm just gonna kind of try to lift it up there, put it on. All right, just threw these on here. That's the part number right there for version 3 and 4s, STIs. Yeah, this thing's really solid. I'm really happy it came with bushings, because all Whiteline stuff comes with bushings. But I'm just gonna get some end links, and I gotta change these control arms out so I can actually set the alignment properly, because the track width in these has to be exact, because if it's too short with these arms, it would be too short, and then the axle would actually be binding. So you need adjustable Whiteline arms. I think it's for a basically for a wagon, I think, is the narrower body style of GD and span links, and rear suspension's pretty much done. So let's see if we can get a knuckle on here before it gets too late, because I don't want to leave these axles open while the car's outside. Alright, I'm going to attempt to get our knuckle in here. This is the one that had the bolt that was seized in it, but I got it out. So I'm going to try to just pop that axle in, hang it off the strut here, and then a lot of this stuff's bent. I'm going to have to fix this once it's bolted onto the car, but I got to switch over the e-brake cable, because the e-brake cables are different. The wheelbase is longer on the Legacy, so I should be able to just take the e-brake apart and put this cable into here. But that's a lot easier to do once it's on the car. So, alright, just hung this up here. Just put one bolt in it for now. And now I'm going to attempt to take this, swing it out. Stick it in there. Like that. Bam. Alright, put the rest of the suspension on. This is just in here temporarily because I got new control arms coming, like I said before. So make sure to cover this thing in anti-seize. So at least it'll get some anti-seize inside the knuckle here until I get the new arms. I need to get camber bolts for the top of here because these are just the stock ones. I think iBox sells a really good one. I also have my other car, so I'll get some of those coming so I can actually adjust that. So I need to swap over the e-brake. But I got the bolt on here for the trailing arm. Let's use the stock trailing arm. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about the ABS sensors, because this is the Legacy one. So I'm gonna see if I could actually take the GD STI one and run it up into the chassis and see if it'll plug in. I'm not gonna have ABS anyway, but worst comes to worst, I'll just cut them off. ABS isn't gonna work no matter what I do. So yeah, that's it. To get to the other side. Alright, I'm making a little bit of progress here. So I just took the e-brake apart and just attached the cable. The Legacy cable is a little bit longer. It's a longer chassis, so that just hooks up to the STI parking brake and all that. So I didn't really film taking that apart. But just working on bolting on the calipers here. I don't have brake lines yet, so I got this capped off just so no water or dirt gets in there, as well as the brake caliper here. Always make sure when you're putting these on that the bleeders are on top, because air rises. So I've seen a lot of people mess that up. They put the bleeders on the bottom and you'll never actually get all the air out of your brakes. So yeah, just bolting that on. And then I think I got my control arms in, so we're gonna start working on those. All right, so these are the arms I went with. My brother got me these for my birthday, as it just passed. So pretty excited about these. These are the see a part number on here, but these are basically for a GD WRX wagon, because the wagons are narrower, so that'll better help match the car I'm going to. So I do need to lengthen the track width just a little bit so that the axles don't bind, because I'm using STI axles, which are actually a little bit longer. So these will give me the adjustability I need to be able to align it properly. I can actually get the track width correct. And I don't think I have to go too aggressive on the track width. I think I just need to lengthen it a little bit. The axles do have quite a bit of play in them, so I can narrow the track width from what the STI was and better match my car and just get good fitment, but also still be practical. I'm not going for super, negative 4 or 5 degrees of camber. I'm trying to avoid that. So I also got some camber bolts for the rear. Also for a GD, same parts, but I got a set of those. Let's see, I think I went with iBox on these. So got some iBox camber bolts. These will go with the top strut bolt in the rear. So I should have full adjustability with everything. It'll replace this guy. I can move the top of the knuckle in and out. I can move the bottom of the knuckle in and out with the control arms and set it up exactly how I want once I get it on the alignment rack. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna have to kind of do a tape measure you know, sort of eyeball alignment just to get everything close. I can lay the original control arms next to these and kind of get a baseline to start from, and then lengthen them from there so it's not too off. But regardless, I need to get the car to semi work and get it on the alignment rack before I actually finalize any of this stuff. But yeah, let's start getting those rear arms off. So to get these stock arms off, this bolt I never fully tightened. This is the big long bolt that goes through the knuckle. And then we just got to take these off, which I think is a 22 and a 19 on the other side. And that's also part of the camber adjustment, camber and toe adjustment factory. So we'll reuse those bolts on each side, but these guys need to come out. And so I gotta make sure I'm using the original C-shaped end links. So these will be on the side here, on the bottom. All right, so I got this bolt out. So it's a little crusty, but you can see the inside of it. It's pretty good. This is the eccentric section of the bolt. This is what actually gives you your adjustment. So it's gonna be really handy to still have these because it has an eccentric bolt on both sides, basically. This is a little eccentric washer. And make sure you don't strip that out. But that mixed with some spots here on the subframe, when you turn the bolt, it moves this away like a camshaft. So essentially gives you room to move the arm in and out. So that's gonna be really nice. So I'll actually have 2 points of adjustment on each arm. So I'll have a point of adjustment here in the center and on the inner there. So that way I have full adjustability to set my alignment just right. Okay, so I got the arms thrown in here. This side came out pretty good. I just put my wheel on here as sort of a test fit. I just sort of set the length similar to the original arms that came on it, just a little bit longer, because I know I need to lengthen it just a little bit to get the right length for the axle, which I still need to figure out if that's, you know, how I'm going to do my adjustments and stuff. But yeah, it's coming together pretty good. I need to get some end links, and pretty much all the rear suspension is done. I got the other side put on. I'm having a little bit of an issue with this side. Let me see if I can show you here. You can see a little bit of a test fit. A little bit worried about the poke, just because of the offset of the wheels and having to widen the track. But on this side, something is a little wonky. I think there might be something going on with how I put the strut in, because I just have way too much positive camber. I put my camber bolts in here. I put them all the way set to negative, and no matter what I do, it's still got positive camber. So I think the top hat to the strut might be clocked wrong, or something with the strut is affecting the camber. So I tried lengthening the arms because these are all loose and everything, and it didn't help at all. So probably have to take that out and figure out what's going on. But I got the e-brakes all set up, so I just need to cut out this wheel speed sensor. That's the last thing really back here. All the bolts are tight. I'm gonna go over and do like a full bolt check and everything, and torque everything to spec once it's closer to being done, because a lot of this stuff's gonna have to come back off and do all that kind of stuff. But I am also still missing brake lines. It came with brake lines from the parts car, but they're kind of messed up. They got some fraying and stuff, and so I want to get nice new braided brake lines for this thing and not worry about that. These are just some temporary rotors I'm keeping on here while it sits, because it does rust out here and I don't want to ruin brand new brakes. But at least it's something for now. I can put the wheels on and do stuff like that. But yeah, so the rear of the car is really coming together. I'm probably gonna have to go with a slightly smaller tire than these. These are just a 225. Kind of a junk tire that I just had to have it sit on something. But I couldn't get a higher offset RPF 1 in a 17x8. There's just, they don't exist. They don't make them. So these are the wheels I got, so I got to make it fit. So I might go down to like a 215 45 17. That might tuck it in just a little bit. I can run like maybe -2 degrees of camber, and then I don't have to pull these fenders out very much. I can just roll them nice and easy and not do anything crazy. So I still need to set up the tie rod stuff in the front.
get the brakes on, because I have all new tie rods and everything for this STI steering rack. I'm going to be putting a stock front sway bar on here. I have all the stuff for that. Stock will be fine for now. I mean, I got the Whiteline front, but just to get the suspension together, I'm just going to keep a stock one on it. But I think it's about time to move on to the interior stuff. We're going to start getting our wiring put in. So that's going to be next video, is working on getting the wiring, maybe the transmission. So I got my shifter and everything all installed in here, but I need to get the blower assembly put in here. But before I can put that in here, the wiring has to go along the firewall in the back. So I need to modify the ignition cylinder to get that to bolt into the column, and just slowly start putting that together. But that's going to be next video. So that's going to do it for this episode. So if you guys give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video, hopefully doing some wiring. All right, thanks for watching.